I got all these pieces of wood and no place to put them. So I came up with a new project to use up all my wood scraps.
And this is what I built, an awesome vintage-style toolbox that not only offers room for my tools, but I can also sit on top when I work on a project. It's like a built-in chair, which is awesome. You want one too? Or follow me and lass uns anfangen.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand.
I started by trying to figure out the exact height of the toolbox so I can comfortably sit on. And 14 inches seemed about right for me. Then I used my miter saw to cut the side pieces to size. Now I had to come up with the length of the toolbox. I needed to not only fit the length of my tools, but I also had to make sure there was enough room to accommodate my butt when I sit on it. Once I had that measurement figured out, I cut up the rest of the pieces. Let's not talk about exact measurements of that one though. And again, I know I'm using the catch it with the foot method, but honestly I almost feel like I'm perfecting this method by now. It's not only simple, but also gives me a quick workout. I start liking it. Why is it always that the things that you shouldn't do, you want to do even more? Once I had all the pieces cut to size, I drew on the pattern for the side pieces. I want the side to slant down from the 2x4 that will be the seat towards the toolbox part, to be visually pleasing. Once I had the perfect design drawn on, I cut off the edges. I cut off the opposite side of the piece of lumber the same way, in the same angle. I duplicated this piece for the other side. And these are all the pieces for the build, but before we assemble, let's give it a quick sand. And like always, let's have some fun with it. Once everything was sanded smooth, I decided I wanted to engrave the sides of the toolbox, to personalize it and make it mine. So I came up with this design and used my X tool to engrave it. Now it's clear whose toolbox it is. What do you think? Do you like the outcome of the design? I engraved both sides of the toolbox. Later I will stain the piece of lumber, so the engraving will look much more cohesive at the pieces. And then it was time to assemble. I used some simple outdoor wood screws and countersunk the tops. I also made sure to pre-drill all the holes. Lately, for most of my projects, I've been painting my hardware and screws black. However, for this project, I thought those brown reddish screws would fit perfectly, because this is similar to the color that I will stain the box later. and this fit together perfectly. It's super sturdy already. Here you can have another look at the engravings. I guess you can tell I really like them. I assembled a part that holds the tools before attaching it to the rest of the build. I use brad nails and wood glue to hold the bottom piece in place. If you can, before you use screws or nails, dry fit pieces to make sure everything fits together. Everything fits like angegossen, or everything fits like a glove. So I drilled in the screws to have it all come together. Everything looks perfect. Let's give it a try. There's enough room for all the tools I need in the bottom box. The height of the toolbox is perfect for me to have a comfortable seat. And everything is easily accessible. The seat serves as a handle, and the box can be easily picked up and carried around. Now all that's left to do is to add some stain to it. I decided to go with the weathered stain look again, to make it look a bit older, like a vintage style. So I mixed two different stains together, a cedar color and a gray. Now all that's left to do is to wait for the stain to dry. I also decided to apply a second finish coat over it to give it extra protection. And wir fertig! Wow, what a simple but useful project! As you can tell, I'm in love with my new toolbox, especially since I can sit on it. This makes it easier for me to gather and transport the tools that I need for different jobs and keep them all together in one place, so I don't lose them. How do you like the project? Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Most importantly, press the bell button to get notified of new videos. Also, if you can, please join my Patreon for more content and pictures. For more details, just click on the My Socials link in the description below. This helps me create more YouTube videos. Thank you so much for all you do and all the support. See you next Friday. Tschüss!